Morning, Jeremy. Look, buds, we need to talk about the inclusion of zero in our counting systems because inclusion of zero means that, well, our counting systems have been flawed. Okay? Now, when talking about our numeric counting systems, we're talking about consecutive numbers which start with zero. After all, ground zero, right? So we have 50 cents. How does this exactly equate? Well, you see 0.50 would equate to it being half of your zero. Because 0.00, that's essentially nothing, but nothing is something, zero. But the inclusion of zero means that a consecutive numbers such as 5 or 6, if you were to add those two together, you're to get a finite consecutive number. And that means that to have the consecutive number, it has to begin with your zero. Now, essentially, I'd mean at 5 plus 6 equals 12. Or 5 plus 5 equals 11. Because we're carrying over that whole digit. Now, it wouldn't just be like 11.0. No, it'd be 11.99. Okay, so 7 plus 7 would be 15.99. This is the only way it'll work. Okay, and essentially, if anything costs $5, because 5 is a full digit, 5.99. If it costs $5.50, that means you get 50 cents back. Why you would get the 50 cents back if something costs $5.50? Think of it. If your 5 is a whole digit 5, meaning the 5.99 infinite number, then $5.50 would be the deduction of, so right there, spotting that out, okay? Now, just to see things clearly, because that might upset some people, but that means all the cash registers got changed, okay? I'm not kidding you, okay? Now, if we're talking metric, how we're looking at, say, singular things, like, say, 1 being the inclusion of 0 each time as accounting for it to be a whole 1 in terms of 28 grams, consecutive grams, makes an ounce. This is like a pot dealer thing, right? Think about it, okay? So I say a pot dealer thing and being imperial and all that type of stuff. Well, essentially, this relates to the spice industry mishaps and the mistrust of the West and such because of these accounting systems being flawed, okay? I'm not kidding you, man, okay? Like, come on, bear with me here. If you were to take a 28 gram ounce, and it's consecutive grams, right? So you're to weigh it out like as pot dealers do, about 1.0, right? What, try and get 28 out? No, you try and do that, and then it's an empty one for one thing. The other thing, why? Because 0 to 99, because 100, you're already seeing the inclusion of 0 occur again, okay? So 100% is flawed. Okay, now, anyway, you're going to get a negative of 2.8 every time. And you get that minus 2.8 out of trying to weigh up 1.0, 28 times of a consecutive 28 because of you don't go to 100. 100% is totally flawed. Now, thing is though, when you're talking about inclusion of 0, that means for your 1, the 1 gram, right? Essentially, if you say like a 0.5, 0.5, okay, that's supposed to be about half a gram. No, that isn't. Because a full gram would actually be 1.99 in proper counting. All right, come on, think about it. Okay, so now if you're to try and have those consecutive ones add up to the 28 gram, no. You see what I mean? This caused a lot of drug wars now, hasn't it? Yes. So doesn't it fix it? I believe so. Now, why is this so important to me? Because for one thing, I know Normally, I'm more of a spiritualist. Okay, I'll tell you about essential of all things. In meditation, we find God in all things. Yeah, because essentially, Christianity is like a Windsor coronation, the winter coronation. Yeah, whereas like summer one, I guess, is coronation itself. Now, smoke weed, right? It's kind of the holy sage and Buddha. Anyway, look, you see, spice trades, all that shit, right? Yeah, come on. For one thing, my religion is against death worshiping. Elizabeth never died. Okay, because like I was the Invictus champion of the previous millennium. Mm-hmm. Not just century, yeah, I'm talking millennium. Yeah, the golden ruler of the spacious imperial, yeah, golden ruler, actually had sentenced me to 1,000 years on convictions of my family's claim to immortality and life everlasting in heaven on earth. Because, life of the party. I got the vibe, man. And, yeah, I know. It's pure love. Anyway, maternal MI to this world and as a new matriarch. I'm not sure. Okay. So, inclusion is zero. This means to all the money and all that, that is counted in pounds and all that type of stuff of like a silver. Because I'm not going to leave people hanging on debts and all that type of stuff. No, the accounting system has to be done correctly. In other words, seen as the individual units. That way, the inclusion is zero is accounted for. It's not a giant sum and then divvied out that way. No. Okay, it has to be done this way. It has to. Okay, and £2 means a full two, inclusion of zero. Okay, to be seen properly. That's the only way. And electrochemistry, that's how we do it. Okay, and that's the only way to do it. Okay, just whop up a whole bunch, smelt it good, and make sure that that cling is bound. Okay, that's the only way to do it. Because I know. Okay, look, see, Emperor and the empowered empress of the imperial empire. One was a mob thing, okay? The empress, however, actual emperor rulership, that came from family, okay? Because, there'll only be one king, remember, Christ. And Christ, Christoph, I go, because at the center of all things, Christianity, yeah, it means a friend flower, a month flower, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so, because of, the romantic empire. Okay, well, because, essentially, to electrochemistry stuff and